Hi. Well, like a lot of you, I'm finding silver is getting a little too expensive to work with for some things. So I'm moving to copper for a lot of things. I like copper to begin with. I like to work with it, and I think it's really beautiful. I actually wear a copper ring that I made here. But anyway, the thing about copper is when you solder it with silver solder, the silver is really visible and it's kind of unsightly. There are ways to hide that, but there's also a way to not have it occur in the first place. And I've got a ring that I'm in the process of making here. It's kind of roughed up. It's not even round yet, but I made this with copper wire. And where's the seam? Here's the seam right here. And you can see the seam. Let's get that visible. There we go. You can see the seam, but it's gray. It's not bright silver. It's not as unsightly. And then you can use the same techniques to cover that up, copper plating and so forth, as you would with normal silver, but it's a lot easier to hide it. Hey, one addendum to this. I think I might be able to get closer to the copper color by using a different brazing rod. So I'm gonna get a couple different ones on Amazon this week and try them out. I may have used a bronze brazing rod for this demo, which is why it's gray and not copper. But I'll follow up and let you know. And I'm gonna show you how to do that. The key is that I didn't solder it. What I did was I brazed it. And you can do brazing with things that you've already got. I've got a Smith's little torch, could do it with that. For the demo, I decided to do it with something everyone's got, just a Dremel butane torch. The only other thing that you need is a brazing rod. And I got this brazing rod on Amazon. I'll put the link below. And it's real simple. If you know how to solder, you probably already know how to braze. It's just going to take a time or two to try it out. So stay tuned. The rest of the video will show you exactly how to do it. Okay, let's see if we get started here. First, setup is pretty straightforward. It's just a ring on a third hand. I'm going to apply a little bit of flux to the joint. Get my glasses on here. Flux to the joint, and this is, you can use any kind of flux. This is Rhonda's purple flux that I get from Rio Grande, and I like it because it's liquid. But I just put a little bit on the joint like so. And then we're going to use the most basic of implements here, a Dremel. Let's get that fired up. What you're going to want to do here is you're going to want to heat the metal, and you're going to want to get it glowing right around the joint. And then you're going to take the soldering rod here, and you're simply going to touch it to the hot metal, and that will melt it and it will flow, much like solder that you're familiar with. So let's get started here. Second time's a charm. All right, see if I can do this without getting my hands in the way. I like to bring the rod in a little bit close to the flame to sort of preheat it. I don't actually stick it in the flame, but I like to preheat it a little bit. Okay, it's starting to glow just a little bit here. Voila, done. I'm going to drag it through to the backside just a little bit here if I can. And that is it. I'm going to drop it into the cooler. And now you can see, I don't even know where the seam is. I think the seam's right here. Now you can see, you don't see any silver in there. You see some oxidation, but there's no silver showing. So we're going to drop it in the pickle and come back in a little while. Good. Okay, and here is the finished up ring. Look at that, look how pretty that is. Copper really is gorgeous. Let's see if I can find the seam on this thing. I did not copper plate this, so the seam is still visible somewhere. Yeah, here it is. You can see it right. Can I focus this? Let's see. Can't find it. Let alone focus on it. Ah, there it is. Seam is right there. You can just barely make it out. And I think for a piece of copper jewelry, that is acceptable. So anyway, that's how you braze. Polish this up a little bit more, get it on the website. Thanks for watching.